My blessings and love to you. I am Aaron. It is a privilege to be with you in this way. You know that these are not recorded the month that you see them, but pre-recorded. So right now it's a beautiful October afternoon. We will be hearing this in November. In between, we are headed to Oakwood Retreat Center in Indiana for a week of Vipassana meditation and remembering rules. People often ask Barbara and ask me, why do we practice? What is Vipassana meditation? What are we trying to achieve by meditation? Such questions. Let's start at the beginning. You are beautiful and radiant spirit. Here in this incarnation to learn to respond with a loving kindness to the earth plane catalyst that comes your way. Sometimes it's easy. People are loving you, praising you. Your body feels strong and healthy. The sun is shining. Wonderful. But if that's all you experienced on this earth plane, how would you learn to deepen in a loving response, spacious response, even when something is painful? The past months, I read some to you from my new book. We hope that book will be published and available to you by early December. I've made the decision not to share deeper directly from the book now, but rather to go into something that is the ground for the book, and without which you cannot do the practices of the book. First, what is meditation? You are meditation. It is your natural state. Stillness, spaciousness. The sky's natural state is spaciousness, but when certain conditions are present, it fills with clouds and looks very busy. Water has fluidity, so it can move, but when no conditions are pushing it into movement, it is still. Your natural state is spaciousness and stillness, when no conditions are pushing you into agitation. Without the conditions, however, you could not learn. So there will always be that which pushes at you in the earth plane, giving you the opportunity to respond to that push, either with anger, contraction, and agitation, or with spaciousness, letting your own innate light shine forth. I said there are certain things that will help you to do the practices in the book. And one is to be able to discern the places where you are contracted, agitated, pulling window shades down over your light, and the places where you are open, heart open, light pouring out. Vipassana meditation, this is not the only use of Vipassana, but it is an excellent practice for doing this work. We sit quietly, breathing. The first 2 or 3 breaths may be very easy. Then there's an itch. Attention is no longer with the breath. Itching, which is predominant, the sensation of the itch or wanting to scratch the itch. You don't have to figure out which is predominant. Your attention is immediately pulled to whatever is predominant. So first, the itching sensation. Itching! And then, wanting to scratch. It's not the itch itself, it's tension. It doesn't matter what's holding your attention, the itching sensation or the tension. The question is simply, this has arisen into my experience. It is unpleasant. How will I relate to it? I can relate with kindness or with anger and tension. If I relate with anger and hostility to it, I create more separation from the experience and from myself, from my heart. When I note the intention to want to push it away, and instead of blaming myself for that intention, I breathe with kindness for myself. Breathing in, I am aware of the tension. Breathing out, I hold space for the tension. I smile into the tension. Then, and this is what I highlight in the book, then I begin to find the simultaneity of the tension, hostility, fear, discomfort, and aversion, and the innate spaciousness. You are all so deeply unconditioned. When something pushes the button, you react. That's how the human is wired. You are mammals. That's how the mammal is wired. But you are not an alligator, or a wolf, or a bird of prey. You're a human. You have been all of those in the past. Now, in this precious lifetime, you are you. And you have the opportunity not to be reactive with the fight, flight, or freeze reflexes, but to move into and respond from your heart. Vipassana. The word in Pali, pasana, means seeing, to see. Vipassana means a deeper, clearer seeing. It gives you the opportunity to observe the habitual responses. The mosquito tickling the arm. Is that what I want to do? If I slap the mosquito and kill it, and then my neighbor's a dog comes into my yard and damages plants in my garden, am I going to poison him? Then my neighbor's child comes into my yard with his friends and they're making a lot of noise, am I going to shoot them? Habit depends upon habit. When we watch the small habit to slap at the mosquito, we can note intention to slap, aversion to the mosquito, and then gently brush it away. We don't have to kill it. This heightens the habitual tendency. When the dog is in the yard, to go outside and say, "Get out of here, that's my garden." You can even yell at him to make him run away, not harming him, but making it clear, "No, you may not be in my garden. No, you may not suck of my blood." In this way, we can learn to respond compassionately and wisely to the physical, mental, and emotional catalysts of everyday life. But in everyday life, it's busy. It's hard to pay attention to everything. So when you're sitting in meditation, there's nothing you have to attend to except what is arising in this moment, in this mind and body. We start with the intention to respond with love and with kindness and harm to none. But but with also compassionate no when appropriate. If you're sitting on the cushion in your living room or at the retreat in the meditation hall, and suddenly a flock of chickens runs through, you don't have to grit your teeth and say, I shouldn't mind this. Someone left the door open. The chickens are in the house. They're going to drop the droppings all over your carpet. Get up and escort them out and close the door. Kindness does this. Stillness does this. Not, get out of here, chickens. Just, no chickens. Out you go. Pick this one up and put it out. Pick that one up and put it out. Close the door. So you have a lot of flocks of chickens running through your house every day. Running through your human house. How are you going to attend? With Vipassana, we're sitting still, and we see the thought come. And then the intention to enact the thought, to stop the thought. We see no thinking. But the conditions were present and a thought arose. As soon as I knew the thought has stopped, I just come back to my breath. And then neck pain. Wanting to move the neck. Pain, unpleasant. Tension. And you feel the body closing up, creating more pain in the neck. Compassion for this human. Breathing in, I am aware of the tension, aware of the pain. Breathing out, I hold space for the pain. Give it a minute or two to resolve a bit. If it's still there and it feels important to do so, gently turn the head a bit to release the tension. And then as you close your eyes and come back to your breath, also become aware of tension that you habitually hold in the shoulders of the neck. Thusly, we are returning to the innate tension-free state of being. The place of spaciousness, of light, of awakeness, right there with the tension. The more you try to get rid of the tension, the more you contract around the tension and create more tension. The Vipassana practice leads us to freedom. First, with these mundane reactions that we have held for one or many lifetimes. A habitual way you hold the body, and if you look at yourself, you'll see when there's tension, do you hunch your shoulders and clench? I doubt if you relax, unless you have done a lot of practice. Right there with tension is spaciousness. The deeper gift of Vipassana, beyond responding more kindly, wisely to catalyst in this life, is what I would literally call freedom. We no longer find ourselves triggered by the annoying or painful circumstances of everyday life. We begin to see who we are beyond those habitual energies, and to trust who we are. To trust that you are already an awakened being. To trust that alive, radiant awakeness of yourself and of everyone. You begin to speak to others, speaking more to that awakeness. Not to the personality self so much as the spirit. You begin to speak for yourself from this place of spaciousness. You begin to wake up, to know the truth of who you are. You are Buddhas, you are the Christ, you are the awakened one. You. And now, with your Vipassana practice, you have the opportunity to practice as is needed in order to move into that awakenedness and know it for certain. It is a beautiful practice. I hope you will look at my instructions on the website, that you will try to attend Vipassana classes and retreats and practice, 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 because that's the only way you'll learn it. Daily practice. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to you. My blessings and love.